Welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show on 94.7 The Pulse. Music, interviews, news, and, well, two blokes chatting. Now, here are the two blokes.
If I could see the smoke from your fire, I'd come over for coffee. I'd sit by your window and I'd watch you smile in the sun. I'd hold your hand and I'd walk with you through the garden, down to the pathway that always led me back home. Oh, but I don't see the smoke coming out of your chimney. The house is still there, but the fire inside has grown cold. I remember you told me you'd be away for the summer. Now the winter has come and it won't be long till you're home. If I could see the smoke from your fire, I'd come over for coffee. I'd sit by your window and I'd watch you smile in the sun. You're far away, living somewhere in the city, and I'm all alone on my own, and it's coffee for one. I wish I took the time to tell you I love you. You're far away and the feelings inside me have grown. I spent my summertime just thinking about you, but I'm all alone on my own and it's coffee for one. If I could see the smoke from your fire, I'd come over for coffee. I'd sit by your window and I'd watch you smile in the sun. I'd hold your hand and I'd walk with you through the garden, but I'm all alone on my own and it's coffee for one. Yeah, I'm all alone on my own and it's coffee for one.
And that is taken from the album The Reason, the 2019 album produced by a man called Peter Dawson. And unlike no one in the history of man whose surname is Dawson has ever had the nickname Smokie. Good morning to you, Smokie. You've got Neil and you've got Rob.
G'day, Neil and Rob. How are you guys going this morning?
Going well here. That's a nice little tune, but typical of country music. There's that twang of sadness in it.
Oh, it's a sad little song, but... you know, it's coffee for one. We've all had that little experience. We're on our own, and the only thing left is a cup of coffee. So enjoy your coffee for one if you got one.
Yeah, we do have to ask the question, Pete. When you go and have your coffee for one, how do you have it? You a long black or are you a latte? I reckon you'd be a flat white.
Flat white with one, I'm tipping.
Mate, you're exactly right. I will go flat white with one.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I had you pigeonholed very early.
I do have to throw a spanner in that, though. I don't mind a teaspoon of honey sometimes instead of sugar.
Oh, hello.
That's all right.
Yeah. I think the Beatles were quite strong on a taste of honey, weren't they?
There you go. We don't know.
Hey, Smokie, was this song? When was this song actually written? Because it's very relevant to the world we're living in at the moment.
It's funny how that happens. I wrote this song probably only maybe a good 12 months ago. It went straight on the new album when we went up to have the album produced, and we were listening to a few different songs out of the album to select for radio play, and my wife said, well, how about coffee for one? She said it's pretty relevant to where we're up to in the time. So.
Sounds like you wrote it a couple of weeks ago, actually. It's got a very modern tone to it.
It's quite incredible how long it actually takes for us to get a song onto a CD. Some of the works that I've written, Neil and Rob, have been, over 25 years ago I wrote the songs. And when you get to finally get into a studio, you pick a selection of songs that you think are relevant for the album. But this is my new album that you're playing, Copy for One. That's on the album The Reason. And it's got 12 original tracks on it. And, I love the fact that I like to write songs and sing songs. It's a big change of life, and it's something I'm really passionate about. So,
one of our listeners, his name is Dave, and Dave is in Port Lincoln, and he runs an outfit called EP Windscreens and Window Tinting. That sounds very much like the sort of stuff you did for much of your working life before you got into music.
Mate, right up my alley. I've been 30 years in the motor trade. I've had windscreen shop in Nowra, on the south coast. I'd done my back in about 15 years ago and had to sell up. And my boy, Ben, he does windscreens now, so he's sort of taken over where I left off. And so here in the St George's Basin, Jervis Bay, where we live, on the south coast of New South Wales, my boy does hot rods and specialises in classic cars and all that sort of stuff. So,
Dave, do you have another day job now?
His name's Peter. Dave's the other guy.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Dave when I'm talking to Peter. Peter, do you have a day job now, or is music it for you? And what does that mean, of course, over the last 6 or 8 weeks?
Yeah, no, music is it for me. I'm out of work like the rest of our musos at the moment. We were supposed to be right now out at a place called Eulo, Western Queensland, for a country music event called Music in the Mulga. And that's had to be cancelled. And next year we'll be back out there again doing our stuff. We're going to have a big show this year. We had the Wolf Brothers as the headline act, and Simply Bushed, a whole pile of them coming out this year, Kerry Kennedy. But that's all been cancelled, and so is all the shows. About 10 shows, Neil, this year that we won't be doing. So music's taken another format where people are live streaming. We've got radio, which thank God we got the radio. But somehow we like to still get our music out there, and it's not an easy thing, but it is able to be done. If people like my music, they can catch me on Facebook. It's probably the easiest way. Peter Smokie Dawson on Facebook, and I've got 3 CDs out now, so it gives opportunity for different style of music. Although I'm more traditional country, I try to stay in that sort of genre.
The Community Radio Network is a great supporter of country music, based up in... Where are they based, Neil? It's not Tamworth, but it's somewhere up that neck of the woods.
The country music program, the Good Morning Country, comes out of Taree.
Taree, that's right.
With Walshy.
So we have that regularly playing on the national network at this station in Geelong, but we do have a couple of other people who are crazy country music fans in Geelong, and they get plenty of airtime. So we'll push your little number towards them, as we will our previous guest this morning. So hopefully you can develop a bit of support down this neck of the woods in these times that are clearly very tough. If you're requiring an audience and you can't have one to earn a living, how are you getting by?
Yeah, it's skin of your teeth.
Yep.
You get by. No, we get by, mate. Like, life's going on. I think I'm the lucky one in some respects. I've had a business and I've been able to take a back step from that. But this is what I'm passionate about, and this is what's taken me forward, So although this year's been a bit of a roadblock, we'll get over it and we will push forward. And there'll be new material, there'll be new songs to write, and more time in a studio. But that's just not available at the moment. That's coming up into the future. So,
well, we spoke to Dave Warner, he of Dave Warner in the Suburbs, earlier today, and he was saying that that one of the big problems when you're on the road and travelling is you just don't have time to stop and write. I would have thought there'd be a lot of musos spending this downtime doing that writing.
There definitely will be. This is a great time to sit and write.
And there's a bit of content, not seeing my girl and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, look, there is an opportunity to write, but I actually find that I get a lot of inspiration by being on the road.
Okay, yep.
And I will take my time. When I'm on the road, like, people say to me, where do you write your songs, Pete? And I said, see that big mountain, there's a dirt track that leads past the river. I said, once you come right up over there, you might find me with a campfire writing a song. But that's typical of me. I love to get out into the bush and sit by a river and try and find the story in what I'm looking at, or, you know. I try to use descriptive words in my songs and try to take you on a visual picture of where we're going into the music, you know. So I think every songwriter's got a different style of way he writes.
Smokie, who were your early inspirations in this industry?
Well, there's no doubt about it. I've definitely been inspired by Slim Dusty and also Stanley Costa. I've really looked at the work that's been written over the years, and Australian country music has played a big part in my life, you know. Trumby was a ringer, you know.
What a great song.
You know, there's so many great songs.
Leave Him in the Long Yard.
Leave Him in the Long... Kelly Dixon wrote that song, and what a classic, you know. And I wrote a song for Stan Costa and for Slim Dusty, and it's called Nice to Hear, and it's called Stanley and Slim. I've got too many songs I've written now, forgetting the names of Stanley and Slim, and I've been very privileged because Stanley and Slim, I put it in a competition with the Bungendore Country Music, and I took out New Talent Award this year. So beautiful trophy from the Bungendore Country Music Association, and
very flat. You've got a tone in your voice that suggests you might be on the wrong side of 50. Nice to win a New Talent Award at your age.
Hey, you're not wrong, mate. You're picking me.
I'm going to say 56.
Well, the Jubilee year has come and gone, let's put it that way.
Yeah, only because he told me that yesterday. and we wind the clock back to that year in the late 60s, and you were, in fact, born in Tamworth, so you were kind of destined for...
Born in Tamworth. I grew up in Tamworth. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I got my story wrong yesterday.
Yeah, no, I was born in Newcastle.
I'm trying to demonstrate I did some research on this, okay? That's what I'm trying to do here.
Well, I spent a lot of time in Tamworth, put it that way.
Okay.
Tamworth has been home for me from early age. I've still got family living in Tamworth, and seen a lot of changes happen with Tamworth. Tamworth country music, it was a really happy family time, and families would gather and bring their picnic, and they'd sit in the park with their beer, and you know, there was always a good family atmosphere. But somewhere along the line, it sort of turned into a bit of a problem, drinking in the parks and people getting out of control. And Tamworth got pulled up a few years ago, but still quite a big event. You know, we get 35,000, 40,000 people show up in Tamworth for country music, and maybe even more on certain times. And so Tamworth has got a big following here in Australia. Country music has definitely got a huge following, and you know, I feel very privileged to just be a little bit involved in it. Although I've been a part of, you know, seen it all my life and grew up in Tamworth, I've seen the changes as well. And I think some changes are necessary. I think we've got to always be prepared for a change.
So is there any light at the end of the tunnel that says that the Tamworth Festival will go ahead yet? Do you reckon that they're close enough to saying that that'll go ahead in January?
We don't know yet, Neil. That's
okay.
The problem. It's been held off. A lot of the shows, we've got 10 shows that have cancelled at the moment. But I think that's just the way it's been for a lot of the artists, you know. And
yeah.
How do we go forward? Well, maybe we just take a bit of a break, write some new songs, and fire up next year, you know.
And before we...
hold for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we let you go, now, you just mentioned that the award you won. Is that the one that arrived in the mail yesterday, or is that another one?
No, that's another one. Well, yesterday I had an award show up from the Dubbo Dusty Boots Award. So
I wish they'd just make it sound a little bit more country.
Yeah.
You can't get more country than Dusty Boots, mate. So.
Yeah, no, I had a chat to Smokie yesterday, and he said, "Oh, guess what's just happened? The mailman's just been, he delivered this." He was very excited. So
It only just happened when we were speaking to Neil.
Yeah, no, I knew that. Australia Post got on to me and said, "Listen, mate, this is when you want to ring him."
Yeah, ring him right now. Hey, Smokie, you're the sort of dude that lobs in the corner of a pub and just belts out a few tunes in the normal way of life?
Yeah, I do. I stay country. I will find myself in the corner somewhere or in a beer garden, or a lot of our shows that we do when we're on the road. So Lights on the Hill is a big event that we do up at Gatton, the Clarence Valley Country Music Muster at Grafton. So we have a captured audience in some of these places, but there's nothing like being in the Bowen Hotel or the Cunnamulla Hotel and sitting in a corner and...
Be the Cunnamulla fella.
Yeah.
You got it right, mate. And Western Queensland, what a great place to play music. It's such an inspirational country out there for me.
And that part of Australia, you just need a guitar and a relatively good voice, and it's like bees to a honeypot, isn't it?
It is. Happy hour around the Grey Nomads camping area can be a lot of fun too. We
goes for longer than an hour, I'm tipping too, just quietly.
Everybody brings out their wine and their happy hour, and we bring a guitar, and what a good time.
Absolutely. Wish we were there. Hey, mate, we've got to get going because it's getting up towards 11 o'clock and we've got to say goodbyes to everybody. But it's been an absolute thrill getting to know you this week, and thanks for having a chat to us on the wireless.
Neil and Rob, thank you very much for your time, and everyone down in Geelong, hope you're having a great day. Stay safe. We don't want to lose any more people with this virus, and let's find you on the road somewhere when we're all out of lockdown. We'll be travelling our beautiful country, and hopefully we meet you out at St George at the River Sands Winery or Music in the Mulga. You name it, there's lots of places we can catch up.
We'll catch up and we'll tear the top off one together. What do you reckon?
Hey, good on you, mate. We definitely will. Pop these forks.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Pete.
Smokie. All the best.
Good on you, guys. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your music.
Good on you, mate. There he is. Peter Smokie Dawson.